Let's bring you up to speed on this Toyota Landcruiser that we had in for a clean, which was horrific beyond belief. And my friend did buy it in this state, so we couldn't let him have it in this condition, so we offered to give it a clean for free. And this was one heck of a horror story. We found things that were so grim, we simply couldn't upload them on YouTube. And we started off by spending an hour alone just blowing out the straw and rocks, which then gave us a blank canvas to work on. But the biggest problem for us was all the mud. It was never ending. With the exterior looking, let's be honest, rubbish, we jumped onto the interior and we started off with the boot area as it was just awful in every way imaginable. The carpet was so bad we simply couldn't let it be. So eventually we decided to get it out so we could pressure wash it, and it was definitely the right decision. I moved on to the rear of the seats, and for this I'm using an interior cleaner and a scrub pad. And if you don't have a scrub pad, then I recommend that you get one immediately because you're definitely missing out. These are a must for any car cleaning business because it speeds up the whole process by getting into the tiny gaps on the trim. Or if you use them with a leather cleaner, they can really enhance the appearance of the seats. And also get yourself some decent brushes. The ones I'm using here are from Valet Pro and they're quite compact with shorter hairs, and it's definitely one of my favourites. The dirt was so ingrained into the trim, but it's amazing how the simplest of tools and products can enhance it. I didn't have a plan of action here as it really wasn't going to be a showroom standard, and normally I start from the back and work my way forward, but on this occasion I literally just hoovered up everything in sight. And my Charles wet vac was working overtime, and so were we. At this point the sun made its yearly appearance, so we knew that everything would dry fairly quickly. Just wrong in here. Speaking of wrong, I then had to shampoo the carpets, and I may have got a little bit carried away with the chemicals. You know what? I think I've put too much cleaner in here. Anyway, at least it was having a good bath. Come on baby, you're looking good. Apart from the roof. The roof is disgusting. They are just vile. This was one of those cars where one part of me was tempted just to throw a bucket of shampoo inside. I still couldn't believe how bad every single piece of trim was. And I can only pray that nobody ever had a McDonald's drive-thru in here. I can still smell it now. It was just so grim. During the clean, I wanted to show Adrian how I clean glass without any chemicals in the direct sunlight. So he got to try my method that served me well for the past 16 years. Once the glass was finished, I had the dreaded task of getting the extra wide Landcruiser in the extra tight garage door. I'm going to let go of the handbrake, it's going to fly. Oh, I don't like this with one mirror. This ain't. Oh my God. I don't think it's going to happen, is it? A slight problem because I can't see in my rear mirror. I can't see the car behind. I just might need you to guide me. There's no way that's going in. Only I would have a detailing unit. Hang on. Unfortunately, the camera stopped recording, but as you can imagine, I got this in easily. Whoa! Careful! That's how much of a good driver I am. I've parked so well. Look at that. Couldn't get all the blood stains off. Gonna be fit for a King Charles. So for the plastics and leather, I'm using Infinity Wax interior dressing and their leather cleaner. And I'll put links and the relevant discount codes in the description below. You'd think after all this time I'd realise that there is no trim on the interior door. There's nothing, and I still open it. There we go, looks much better. I've seen some bad cars in my time, but this, I would say this is probably the worst car I've ever, and I genuinely mean that, I've ever seen. And we weren't going too mad here, it was just a simple spray and a wipe, which was plenty good enough for the old dog. With the exterior, we decided to say no thanks to the machine polisher and yes please to Epic Automotive ceramic detailer. Part of me feels bad because we've not been able to machine polish it, but then again, this vehicle, the condition that you saw it in earlier when we first got it, is pretty much going to be the condition that it's going to be in probably for the rest of its life from this point onwards. So it's pretty sad really, but you've just got to live with it. You just got to let these things go in terms of getting this perfection. As this was a freebie, I just used some old tyre dressing that's been sitting on the shelf for the last few years. And we knew this car still looks rough around the edges, but when you look at how bad it was from the first time we saw it compared to what it is now, it's still a dramatic transformation.